Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today, well, at least this morning, we're playing easy quads. And you can see here, well, looks like an athlete that's clearly developing his quads very seriously, with tons of weight that I guess he's going to be doing some sort of deadlift to strengthen his quads as quickly as he possibly can, or the easiest way that he possibly can. Don't injure yourself, take it easy. Yeah, looks like a serious amount of weight here. Right, just a couple of things before we take a look at this puzzle. So first off, this is the last kind of new intro for a while because, I had to think about essentially what should I do for the Christmas specials. If you remember, I was planning to do essentially 12 days of Christmas from Christmas Day. But then I took a look at where the viewers of this channel come from, and like 80% of you, more than 80% of you at this point, essentially celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December. And certainly in the UK, the US, many of the countries that the regular viewers are from, Christmas is pretty much over come, 26th, 27th of December. So doing, a 12-day Christmas special going all the way until January 6th just felt not quite in keeping with what you guys may expect. So instead, what I'm going to do is more like a countdown to Christmas, starting from this afternoon. And that will have a new Christmas intro for a while, just to sort of fit within the theme. But I guess kind of long-winded way of saying is, you've seen a few different introductions at this point. There is a poll going on. Come Christmas Day, when I'm recording whatever's going on Boxing Day, that's 26th of December for anyone outside of the UK, I'll be looking at that poll then and deciding essentially which one am I going to be doing. Right now, it seems to be the favorite is to go back to exactly how it was with some classical music instead of some of the original stuff that I've composed. What else did I want to mention before we take a look at this puzzle? I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I've already lost track. Shall we just take a look at the puzzle that we have for today? Let's do that. So we have Easy Quads by Daniel Rokven. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly there, Daniel. And a fairly straightforward set of rules. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so that means place the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box without any repeats. Second, we've got kind of standard variant rules, killer cages. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner and cannot repeat. So you can see we have a whole bunch of cages that are 2 cells in size. And you can see the cage because it's got that dashed line outlining which 2 cells compose of it. And they all have the same sum in the top left corner, which is 7. And the way to use these killer cages is, for example, if this is a 2, this cell that is part of the cage has to be the difference between the 7, that's the total sum that we're trying to get to, and the 2, that would be a 5. So 2 plus 5 equal to 7 in this case. That's killer cages. We also have quadruples. So every digit in a circle has to be assigned to one of the surrounding cells. So you can see there are tons of circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost a ton with 12 circles, each of them having lots and lots of digits in the center. And all that's saying is that this quad of circles, this four cells that are with the circle in the center have to be composed of 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. Last thing, all cages have the same total, and that's all the rules we have for today. Empty grid, but not entirely empty because there's tons of clues, I feel. So it is probably indeed an easy quad, which is a good way of, I guess, starting the week, I think. So if you feel like developing your quad muscles, if you feel like playing this puzzle alongside with me, link will be in the description down below for you to play as usual. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So I'm just going to point something out before I actually attempt to solve. What I noticed is we're given all of these quads in the corners of the puzzle. Now, if you haven't seen this before, the digits that are part of the corners form what's called a Fistemefel ring, who created the first puzzle that actually features something based on this geometry. Am I going to go for, yeah, let's go with blue. And essentially, the contents of the blue cells, the digits in there, not just its sum, but the actual digits, are going to be placed in this circle, we'll call it square, that's in the middle. Now, I can't imagine that given the difficulty rating and the plethora of clues that we have been given here, that we're going to need to use it. So I am going to deliberately ignore it because I know some of you are not particularly comfortable with it, and see if it is solvable without using the Fistemefel ring. I imagine it will be. And if it isn't, that will be my fallback plan. So I'll get rid of this highlight. I will come back to it. And let's see where we can start. I mean, it's almost like the question where not to start. I mean, there's so many things thrown at us in this puzzle. I should kind of just voice it out loud. What I'm looking for, although to be fair, I mean, what I was looking for is essentially like a quad like this that has an overlap with a 7 cage, where really only one digit would slot in. So, you know, if you take a look at, I mean, what would be a good one? This one, for example. This is definitely not a 9. I can't do a 9 in here with a -2 to add up to 7. And the fact that we actually have 2 9s, that's a relief. That gives us the first digits. A couple of minutes in, but I did take a little bit of time to explain the Fistemefel ring and the fact that I'm not using it. And then that leaves us with 3 and 5 in this 3 5 9 9. That if that's a 3, that has to be a 4 to add up to 7. If that's a 5, that has to be a 2 to add up to 7. And we have digits, 2 of them. But I'm still looking for something. Here you go. So this is composed of 1, 2, 3, 5, meaning there are 2 digits in this quad that must add up to 7 in this cage. And I don't see any pair other than 2 and 5, because 1 requires a 6, don't have that. 3 would require a 4, I don't have that. So it's not 1 or 3, it's a 2 5 pair. That's not 2 5, that's 1 3. And that 2 5 is looking at this quad, that's 2 5. That's 3 4. The other thing that I spotted is there's actually quite a lot of shared digits between here. You'll see that both 2, 3, and 4, given there's 3 of them, are shared, meaning that this is 2, 3, 4. And because this is 2 or 5, that's 2, that's 5, and this was, well, none of these are 2 anymore. This was 1 or 3, wasn't it? So that's 3, that's 4. Now, this is not 2 or 5, nor 3 or 4, this is 1 or 6. Which doesn't actually help us because we've known all along that this is 2 or 5 or 3 or 4 with this quad, so not helpful. Yep, that 3 tells us that's a 1. We have 1 now looking over here. So this is from 6, 7, and 8. And this is from 7, 8, and 9. And the 1 is down here. There has to be a 6, otherwise row 3 would break, and there has to be a 9. I think other than just row 3 would break, the fact is we need 1 9 up here, 1 9 down there, because we've got a double 9. What else? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a 7, 8. This is 7, 8, 9 with a definite 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got the kind of the opposite going on here. This is 6 with a definite 6 with 7, 8, whichever 7, 8 is left out. This 1, 6 is taking a look in here. That's not the 6. That is the 6. Kind of wondering if I can do a lot more with 6s, just given how many of them are placed. I think the answer would probably be yes. So for example, 6s are not here. I know 6s are down there, meaning the 1, 2, 6, 8, the 6 has to be on top here. So there's a 6 there. If there's a 6 up here, I know there isn't a 6 there. I know there isn't a 6 there. It's got to be a 6 down here, but it can't be this cell because it would break this quad. So that's 6. That's 1. There's 1 and 6 now looking at this cell. So one option is it's 2, 5, and then it would be sort of 2, 5, impossible to disambiguate. Obviously, the other option would be that this is 4, because I've already got a 3 looking at it, and this is 3. Now, I am going to deliberately exclude the fact that I am certain that this has a unique solution, and therefore it can absolutely still contain 2, 5. I will disprove it rather than assume it. We've got a 1 here with a 7, 8. Come on, this should be going a little bit faster than what I'm doing in here. This is feeling way too slow. We kind of have a very similar trick with the 1s. 1s, 1s, they line up. 1s are not down here, 1s are in there. Except it's not in here because of this Sudoku. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4, we know it's not in this cell. We know it's also not in this cell because of this one. Not here because we've already corner pencil marked it. Not here because we already placed it. So one of these two is a 1 for sure. I just don't know which one. No, come on, I'm being really slow. Surely this should be going faster than this. What do I have in here? Do I know anything about this? I know that 7 is not in this cell because that would have to be a 0. I know there's a 7 in here lining up with yeah, not sure actually. We have 4, 5, or 6 in here, which gives us many options. Is it 1, 2, and 3? Yeah. You know, I wasn't expecting this to be difficult given the sheer volume of clues. But I am kind of having to hunt around to where do I go next. And maybe I should stop hunting and just do a bit of Sudoku. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 7, 8. We know over here is a 7, 8 with a 9 again. Therefore, this is a 6, which gives me the 1, the 6. Maybe I should think about 6 a bit. Have I really pushed it as far as I could? I suspect the answer is no, I haven't. Look at the 6s, they do line up here. Therefore, there's a 6 in here. And it's not this cell because that's from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's a 6. No, that's kind of running out of steam again. Right, let's be a little bit more targeted here. Where am I going wrong? So I think I need to actually figure out what some of these things are, such as this is not 3, 4 because I've got a 3, 4 pencil marked in here. That's 2, that's 5. I need a second 3, 4. Well, the 2 here tells me this is no longer 2, 5. That's a fourth, well, that's a known 3, 4. The second 3, 4, therefore, is not in here. That's the 3, 4. 2, you can see, is not in these two cells. It's in there. It's a 2. Therefore, that's the 1. Therefore, that's the 6. And this is now 4, 5, 7. I mean, that was waiting for a while. That's a 3. I know what this cell, this is an 8. And therefore, this is not a 7. This is 6, 8. This is 7, 9 again. 7, 9. Yep. And therefore, this is the 8. And therefore, this is 8, 9. I don't know why the 9 disappeared. It was there. And this is 1, 7. 1, 7, 3, 4, 3, 4. What is that? That's an 8 to finish, which gives me the 6, the 8. I could pencil mark what all of these are. I'm not sure I should, though. That's not 5. Four, 7, 1, 7. What's in here? I need a 3. I can't place yet. Interesting. Okay. What about this 7? What do I know about it? It is not 2. Well, yes, it can't be 2 5s because I would break this cell. It's not 3 4. This is 6 1. Can I actually do... Can I reverse it? No, because the 6 is down here for sure since it's not there. So I'm saying this has to be 6 and 1 in this order, which places a 6 down here, and that's all the 6s done, isn't it? That's 9 of them. Yep. So I need a second 2 5. This is not 1 or 8 9 or 6. That's 2. That's 5. That's 2. These are 5 and 7. I'm going to say that 5 tells me the order. That's 5. That's 7. Again, just really surprising how long some of these things are taking me. Not 1 6. We knew that. Again, this is 2 3 or 4 5. It's not 2 5 because I've got 2 5 in a column looking at this cell. So this is 3 4. And therefore that's not the 3. That's the 3. That has to be the 4 up here. This is 1 and 2. This is the 2. This is... Hang on. What did I break? 3 4. That means this has to be the 3. No 4s. I broke something. What did I break? It's forcing me to put 1 and 2 in here. And that can't work. Oh dear, oh dear. Sleuth, this is a very slow evening from you. Let's think about this one more time. This is... It can't be 8. It's not 1, it's not 6. It is 2, which means that's a 5. I mistyped it. This wasn't 5 7 pair. This was, what was it? 7 and something else. 7 4 7. That 4 tells me that's the 4. That's the 7. Therefore, that's the 9. That's the 8. That's the 7. That's the 9. Right. This is back to being 2 5 or 3 4. We kind of know when I went down the 3 4 route that it breaks the puzzle. Right. I am going to pencil mark this. Not a fan, but I am going to pencil mark it. These are not 1s. These are not 2s. These are not 3s. Do I know anything else at this point? Not really. And you can see very easily now that I can't have a 3 4 because that's 3 4. This has to be 2 5. That 2 gives me the order. That's 5. That's 2. And therefore this is 3 4. Can't resolve it, but it gives me a 1 in here. That's not 1. That's a 2 4 pair. Therefore that's the 3. That 1 gives me the 7, the 1, the 4. None of these are 4. This is a 5 7 pair. Are these 3 4s resolved? Not yet. Seemingly not yet. I do need another... well, actually, that 4 gives me the 3, the 4, the 3. This is now a 1 4 pair. And because of this 4, that's the 4, that's the 1. This is 5 and 9, I'm going to say. Seemingly not resolved. And then over here we've got 7 and 8, also seemingly not resolved. Does that resolve anything? 4 6 7 8? Nope. And therefore there's another 7 8 in this quad. Should think about these quads now. We've got 2 and 6. This is 1 and 8. That can't be the 8. That's the 7. That's the 8. That's the 7. Have I done all the quads? I should actually probably use these things. I think the answer is, at a minimum, I've pencil marked them all. Not this one. 3 4 5. That 5 tells me there's a 5 in here. That's 3 or 4. Why is that 1, 8 not resolved? It is resolved. 1, 8, 3, 4. This 7 is not 3, 4 because that's 1 outside it. It's not 6, 1. It is 2, 5. Because of this quad, that's the order. That's 5. That's 2. That 5 gives me the 7, the 5. To finish in here, I need another 3, 4 with a 9. That's a 9. That's a 3, 4. But that 4 tells me that's a 3. That's a 4, 3, 4. The 4 looks in here. That's a 2. That's a 4. Shockingly not resolved. 7, 9 still here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I still need 5, a second 7, 9, and an 8. Not that straightforward. This is not 3, 4. It's not 1, 6. It is 2, 5. And that 2 and that 5 gives me the order. That's 2. That's 5. That's 9. That's 5. These 2 5s tell me that's the 5. I said I need an 8 and a 7, 9. And that's 7, 9. Tells me that's the 8. That's the 7, 9. That's 7, 9. There's a 9 down here now because of the 7 on the bottom. 7, 9, 9, 7, 9. And I'm pretty much at the finish now. That's a 3. I need 7 and 8, and the order is as follows, unless I've made any other mistakes. I haven't, and that's the solution to this morning's puzzle. Very much easy quads. Hopefully that you guys found it a little bit easier than when I made it seem. So, like, speaking about the Fistamethil ring, I'm just going to sort of highlight it because, I mean, I did spot some digits I just decided not to use. So, for example, because of this quad, I know that there is 4, 6, and 7, and 8. But I couldn't put the 8 around the circle because you can see in these quads, there are no 8s. So, you know, it does give you some fairly quick digits if you do go down it. Equally, you can see that there is, you know, only one 1 on the Fistamethil ring because that's the only one that has a 1. So one of these was always going to be a 1 and the other one would be on the ring itself, somewhere on the ring. So there were a few options like that I just left. But I'm sure if somebody is able to use it, you can probably go even faster than the 16 minutes that it took me. Right, enough of that. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And see you back for the next one. Bye for now.